Welcome to Prep Rally. Here is our top 5 players of the week in the River Valley. Leland, take it away.
This is Give Me Five, the top 5 performances, I guess, really from as a basketball wrap up for going into the state tournament or state championship games. Number one, the Northside Lady Bears are headed to Hot Springs for the 15th time in school history, including 14 of those under veteran coach Ricky Smith. They've won 8 state titles, and they'll go back with 4 seniors in the starting lineup. Ariana Gooden, Erica Gooden, Hazley Grotjohn, and of course Cadence Fleming, and then Cherish Blackman, a sixth person off the bench. Just a tremendous, you know, addition of an energy when she comes off the bench. The state triple jump champion. She'll get 6 or 8 points. She'll get 4 or 5 rebounds, block a couple of shots, and any other team in the state she probably starts for, but she just really lifts them up off the bench. So the Northside Lady Bears taking on Fayetteville in the Class 6A state championship game against Fayetteville on Saturday at noon. And then number 2, the Lamar Lady Warriors headed back to Hot Springs for the 3rd time in 4 years, led by Corey Sanders, 3-time All-State. And I think it's safe we can probably pencil her in, or maybe not even pencil, make that a pin her in as a 4th All-State selection this year. And then also seniors, Madison Davidson, Emma Bailey, Kaylee Long, Riley Miller, and Shaylee Mayfield. Again, a veteran team going back to Hot Springs for the 3rd time in 4 years. They will take on an undefeated Dover team Thursday at 6 o'clock at Bank OZK Arena at the Hot Springs Convention Center. Another challenge. When they went 4 years ago, they went up against that undefeated Bergman team. So kind of a similar situation for the Lamar Lady Warriors. And then number 3, the Lamar Warriors, they lost in the semifinals on Saturday afternoon, but they set a school record with 30 wins for the year. Another tremendous season for the Lamar Warriors. And then number 4, the Scranton Lady Rockets were kind of blown out in the regional championship game by Jasper, lost by the mercy rule, but they came back and won a state championship game in the first round, defeating Kirby, and finished 25-5 on the season. And then number 5, the Northside Grizzlies. These seniors, a tremendous season, earned a state tournament berth, but they played for 3 coaches in 3 years, stayed together, and Coach Cody Wilmoth led them to the state tournament. Derek Shepard led the 6A West in scoring with 330 points this year. Tremendous effort by him, especially 3 coaches in 3 years, and a lot of things to look up to and look forward to for the Northside Grizzlies. Another tremendous season for them. And that's the top, or the Gimme 5 for the River Valley.
And now it's time for Graham's Give Me 5, the top 5 players of Northwest Arkansas this week. Take it away, Graham.
All right. Well, I'm going to start with the Springdale Bulldogs, the host team of the Class 6A state tournament this past week. And, they beat Little Rock Central on Friday, and then they had to get by a really good Jonesboro team on Saturday. Just a real host of guys getting the job done. Isaiah Seeley had 11 points. Jackson Conley had 16, Malik Sosa had 14, and a guy named Holden Plant came off the bench and had 9 as they beat Jonesboro 57-44. They're going to the state championship game to play Bryant on Saturday at 1:45 in the afternoon. Just a great season for the Springdale Bulldogs. On the flip side of the 6A girls, I've got to really give a shout out to my guy Vic Rimmer and the Fayetteville Lady Bulldogs. What a great run they are on right now. They finished in a tie for 4th in the league with Bentonville in a really good 6A West conference behind Springdale, Har-Ber, and Northside. And that meant that they had to play in the opening round, and I think that gives you a little bit of an advantage. Because the top 2 seeds all lost, and here the Fayetteville girls are going to play for the state championship.
Same with Northside. They had a first-round game.
Yep. And then, it's tough having to sit out a week like that and going and playing. But they beat Conway, which was just unbelievable that they won that game in overtime. Sanaya Coachman had 22 in that one, and then they had to go and win another game against a really good North Little Rock team. And Peyton Cottle had 20, Whitney Brown had 19, Sanaya Coachman had 14. I mean, Vic's got those girls playing their best basketball of the season, and they're doing a great job. Probably, and I think Leland might even agree with me on this one, the most exciting finish we had during state tournament week was the Elkins boys in their quarterfinal game against Riverview. The situation was this. There was 1.1 seconds left. Elkins was inbounding the ball around midcourt, and Jackson Hallam, the guard for Elkins, hits they find a way to inbound the ball to him near midcourt. There's a big Pioneer logo at midcourt. He was sort of around that area. He heaves up a prayer. The shot goes in, and he is fouled. And it really was when his time expired. They put .2 back on the clock, which I found silly. But it was expired, okay? And the kid got fouled as he made the three-pointer, and so then he knocks down the free throw for a 4-point play to win the game. Just a very exciting finish there against Riverview. They were down most of the game and down by double digits, and Elkins, Coach Jared Porter, and those guys rallied, and they had also beat Bergman the day before that in kind of an upset in front of a very big Bergman crowd. Xavier McDowell had 15 in that game, and Jackson Justice had 12 in that win over Bergman. So the Elkins boys did end up losing to Osceola in the semifinals the next night, but what a great moment that was for the Elks. I'm going to go over to the Farmington Girls with a workmanlike effort to come back and beat Valonia in the 5A quarterfinals at Greene County Tech. Casey McCumber, it's the same group of girls. It's Casey McCumber, 18 points, 5 rebounds. Zoe Brashears, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Marin Adams, 12 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. What a day that is. And Easton McCullough, who was face guarded all night, still found a way to get 10 points. So there's so many weapons for Coach Brad Johnson at Farmington, and I don't know how you stop them. And they're gonna go up against a really good Greene County Tech team in the finals on Friday night. And then last, I would give a shout out to Springdale Har-Ber. The Springdale Har-Ber boys made it to the semifinals against against the Bryant team that is playing in the finals. But before that, Har-Ber had to beat North Little Rock on Friday in the opening round. Cortland Muldrew had 30 points in that game. That was a scrap from everything I've been told, and
it's a preview for his college days for sure.
Well, and Leland can talk more about this, but Cortland Muldrew is going to be the all-time leading scorer in 7A West history or 6A West history until somebody knocks him off, which I'm sure will happen one day.
I just wanted to touch on that game just a little bit. Even though they lost in that final round, I do want to say that, the sportsmanship was there for Har-Ber. I kind of got a clip of a nice moment of all of them just hugging it out before they played that final. I think it was like 3 seconds. And then Cortland, special moment of him just going up to all of his other players, hugging them, just like a supportive, a thank you. And I thought that was really special to just see those final moments. And he also shot a 3 in those last few seconds as well. So it was cool to see that.
Leland, did you have anything about him becoming the all-time leading scorer in the conference?
Well, he passed up this year 2 guys. You guys may have heard of him, Malik Monk. He was pretty good. Now he only played 3 seasons at Bentonville, but still.
Yeah.
And then Malik Monk passed up Ronnie Brewer.
Oh my gosh.
two pretty big names that Cortland Muldrew passed up. Now, Muldrew did play as a freshman quite a bit, but still to set the all-time scoring record in the conference is just tremendous. And Isaiah Seeley, from what I can find, is going to finish in the top 4. So he'll be right behind Malik Monk and Ronnie Brewer is going to be Isaiah Seeley. So
Well,
that's tremendous too. And then of course, we talked about Derek
mhm.
Shepard leading the conference in scoring. Actually, Ariana Gooden led the girls in scoring, averaging 15.5 points per game. Now, Charlene Hudson actually scored more points, but Ariana Gooden was sick one game and set out against Heritage. So Charlene Hudson is going to lead the conference in scoring total points, and then Ariana Gooden average wise. So, and
Well,
you talked about the moment at the end of the Har-Ber game.
yeah,
Sometimes we forget these are 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids.
yeah,
Maybe at this point, maybe they're young men and young women, but still, these are still, 17 and 18-year-old kids. And at this level, and I think one of the enjoyments that we get out of covering high school sports is that these kids, these players are still playing the game because they love it.
hmm,
And I think that's what
yeah.
is so unique and so I think admiring and joyful about covering high school sports.
And kind of what I said earlier too, you have, his former teammates, especially for Cortland Muldrew, sitting on the sidelines and cheering him on during some of those games as well. So it's also cool to see them knowing each other and them having that accessibility to drive in the state to watch their friends play, even though it can get competitive when they play each other.
Is Leland great or what? That is just some great data from
Yeah. He's our encyclopedia.
I tell you what, I mean, and he reeled that off with doesn't look like he has any notes in front of him, so I'm not sure what he just had that in his head or what. But
I know we were talking about the top of Northwest, but I want to include Leland on that list because he was up in the Northwest last week. He can be included in that. But,
yeah,
he's my add-on for your Northwest.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I doubt we'll do a Gimme Five next week after state finals week, but you never know. We definitely want to come back, check in next week to see as we wrap up state championships, and then we will be, making our way over to spring sports. I think all of us have already covered a little bit of spring sports, but we really don't get over there in force until after basketball is over.
Make sure to stay tuned for that. We'll see y'all next week.